Hello friends, and welcome back to my hobby home. Welcome. Happy New Year. It is now 2026. How about that? It is January the 2nd when I am recording this video. So I'm hoping you guys are doing great. I am in recovery mode right now. Today what we are doing, this is going to be our Saturday sew along for maybe the month of January. I am still working the Charmed I'm Sure pattern. It is a Moda Summer Charm Quilt Along pattern. I'm pretty certain this is a free pattern on Moda's website. All you have to do is go there and probably type in Charmed I'm Sure and you will find this pattern. I am taking my time on it, guys. I'm just taking my time. I am not going to start 2026 very fast. I'm slowing it down a bit because, as I said, I'm still in recovery mode right now. So what we are going to do, I have laid out my fabrics, but I'm going to flip them upside down because I laid it first piece on the bottom and so forth. So what I'm doing is just taking my first piece and getting my second piece and figuring out where it should go, what its direction should be. And I'm hoping 2026 is finding you guys well. I will have to tell you this, as I said, I am in recovery mode. We had Christmas and New Year's all at the same time in my house, with all three of my children, their spouses / significant others, my parents, and my aunt, and 2 grandbabies. That's a lot of people. Just saying, that is a lot of people. And I know I've mentioned it multiple times, my house is still in renovation mode, which means I have all kinds of stuff everywhere. Well, I told my daughter yesterday, my youngest daughter, I messaged her at 9. I was like, I need your help. Because I'm not as young as I once was, and I can't get as much done as I once could. So I had her come over and help me, and I'm like, I don't care where you put it. If you have to just stack it in my bedroom or in the spare room, I don't care, because my goal for 2026 is to go room by room and get rid of stuff out of my house. So I told her, you know, if you put it in my bedroom, it's more apt to get hit quicker. So things that we just put in my bedroom that I use frequently, and that I know when I'll go through it, I'll put it where it actually goes. And in our kitchen, I'm like, just stack it in the pantry. I'll have to go through the pantry anyway, so just stack it in the pantry. So right now, I have stuff stacked up in my bedroom, my pantry, and of course my spare room. I was trying to tell her, leave the spare room alone, because I've got to box Christmas stuff up and put it in that closet. And if I can't get into that closet, that room is technically like a storage room for us. But it's about to not be. It is going to be, well, I say about not to be, but it is until I can get everything out of there. However, we did get some of the things that I've been needing to go out in the shed out there, finally. So that is a bonus. Now what I'm going to do, I am doing this 1 row at a time. I'm only doing 2 rows. Because as I said, I am keeping it simple right now. I don't want to overwhelm anyone right now, because I am definitely overwhelmed. But I'm taking it slow. What I'm going to do now is press these to, I'm guessing, the right. I guess that's what I could do. Press these to the right and the next row to the left. So one moment and I will be right back. I now have all of these pressed. So what I'm going to do is turn them upside down again. And then lay it out in the direction it would go if I was making the row. And I will sew the next two on to make me a row of four. That's the easiest way to say it, a row of four. Making sure everything is lined up. We're on that 1/4 of an inch. And then we'll do the next set of two the same way. And we will have, okay, so we have a dark, light, dark, not so dark, not really light. But friends, how is 2026 treating y'all already? I hope everyone started the year off healthy and happy and warm or cool, however you want to be. And I want to thank everyone for all of the comments. If I have not yet commented on a comment that you left, please know that as of the night of January the 1st, I had quite a few comments I needed to respond to. So I will be doing that. I'm doing them a few at a time, but I will get to you guys, so never fear. So now we're taking these 2 rows of 4 and we're putting them together. And guys, next time I may have to do more than 2 rows. I just know I am exhausted. As I said, today is January the 2nd. I know you guys will be getting this the morning of the 3rd. It is 8:30 p.m. at night. And friends, when I tell you I have been exhausted, I have been exhausted. I slept. Well, I didn't sleep straight. I don't sleep straight more than a couple hours. But I slept off and on until 4 o'clock this afternoon. That is unreal for me. But I got up at 10 this morning because it was well after midnight before I got to bed. And I was exhausted when I finally got to bed last night because I didn't want to leave my kitchen in complete disarray. So I at least loaded my dishwasher, and I still hadn't even washed the knives and wooden spoons and things like that. I haven't washed those yet, but I'll get to them tomorrow, hopefully. Hopefully I get up earlier than 10 a.m. Because I did have good things happen. I got up this morning, and if you've been a long time watcher, you know my struggles with my sugar. I am a diabetic, but if you're not and you're new, I am a type 2 diabetic. I am post the big C diabetic. It kind of messed with things. And I've been having a struggle with my sugar fluctuating too bad. Guys, this morning I got up, and at 10 a.m. it was around, I think, 137. And that's it might have been around 132, but I'm going to say 137. Just to you know, not make it sound better than it was if it was 137. But that's fabulous for me. So I'm hoping this new medicine they have me on is really working, because that's very promising that my number is that low. And I did not have a 12-hour fast, because I did eat late, because we had our lunch at about 12:30. So, being that we ate around 12:30, and then we had gifts, and everyone left around 4-ish, I kind of like crashed after everyone left. And when I woke up, I was really hungry, and it was about 8-9 o'clock. So I was like, I'm really hungry. But then I was like, no, I need to do some things. So I came in here and I did some things I could not sew. I was too tired to sew. But I did some things, and then I went in my kitchen and I did some dishes. You know, I got some dishes put away. My dishwasher was loaded. I put dishes away and reloaded my dishwasher, fixed myself something to eat, then put those dishes in the dishwasher and started my dishwasher and went to bed a little after midnight. I don't remember how late past midnight, but it was after midnight. So I had about a 10-hour window of fasting, and I was very happy with the blood sugar. So now let's get started on our second row. And I mention that because, guys, y'all know I've had the struggle, and I'm so happy I started 2026 with a fairly decent sugar level. So it's probably all in black eyed peas, but I was surprised because we had ham, of course we had black eyed peas, and we had cornbread, and we had the no sugar sweet tea that you can buy. I just didn't make any. I just said, well, I'll go buy it. Easier than, that's one less thing I have to make. And that's one thing that they can't mess up too bad. So that is what we did. But we had the cornbread, and we even had cake, guys. We had real cake. We had lemon cake. And that was something else I purchased. I was like, I'm not cooking a cake. I don't have time to cook a cake. But we got it all done right at noon. I mean, like, we had 15 minutes to spare. But we had a really good time. Tomorrow is Saturday, so I'm not sure what, the day y'all see this, I am not sure what I will be doing that day. I don't know if my sister and I are going to go catch some breakfast, or if we are going to just stay home. And I wouldn't mind hitting Hobby Lobby to see if they have their bags or anything marked down. I wouldn't mind getting, but you know what? We can do the same thing next year. I can, we can do New Year's at the house, at my house, and do Christmas the same day. I'll have to look to make sure my daughter-in-law's not going to be working that day. But do it after Christmas. Well, or, you know, the week of Christmas, because Hobby Lobby had all of their stuff 60% off the week of Christmas. And if they do it 60% off the week of Christmas, that's the only deal I've gotten so far at Hobby Lobby. I'm pleased with 60% off. So this is row number 2. We're doing it 2 by 2 right now. I'm going to go ahead. No, I'm not. I'm not pressing this. I'm just going to go on and sew it. So was this the beginning? I think this was the beginning. Yes, this was the beginning. I'll press it all at one time. It doesn't matter. That first one, I mean, like I said, I'm taking my time, guys. I am taking my time. enjoying my time in the sewing room. And I want to thank you all for coming and joining me in my sewing room. Of all the places you could be, you chose to be here. It may not be Saturday morning that you're being here, but that's okay. I love it when you guys join along with me and sew along. That's the fun of it all, huh? But this is going to be a real quick, short snippet for you guys. You know, so if you've got time to get 10, 15 minutes of sewing in, this is the perfect thing to do. I don't know if I'm going to do any behind the scenes going ahead with other rows on this. I just have not decided yet if that's what I'm going to do. But, you know, it will be in the sewing room at some point together working on this again. Because I know I'm not going to get it all done. And I know I said I'm going to take it slow this year too, and probably not have a video every day. And I may not, because this kind of holds me accountable to get things done. And if I do a video every day, I ensure that I get into my sewing room at least, well, y'all see 15 minutes. But I've already been in here since before 8 o'clock. I was trimming my half square triangles. Well, I was cutting them apart, then trimming and pressing and all that. So it makes me get in my sewing room at least an hour a day. And I really need that. I really need to be in here at least an hour a day. You know, they say therapy takes an hour a day. This is my therapy. I do an hour a day. I'm not going to say it's cheaper than therapy because, you know, some days it's not. I know I said I wasn't going to do another shopping haul, but I did an online, but it's something I need. It's not more fabric that I'm not going to use or anything like that. This is definitely something that I need. And I figured, because I always keep an eye out for it. And I just did a search today for some best press. And I know this stuff is 30 something a gallon. But then I think about how many pretty quilts that gallon will make. I bought 2 gallons back at the end, I believe the end of 2023, maybe between the middle and the end of 2023. And I don't know, this is just, I love best press. It's never failed me. So this one here, I'm going to press to the left, and we'll assemble the 2 rows then. Here is our second row. So I am going to lay it here so I can pin my first row on it. And then we can get started. Let's see how this goes. This is going to be the direction right here. But friends, did you see the number of quilts achieved last year? I actually had a few more than what was on there. Y'all know I did the self-binding baby quilts. Well, I didn't count those because I didn't have any of those even to photos. So, but I did several of those self-binding baby quilts. Let's see, what else did we do? I'm going to try to be better about keeping up with it this year. And I know y'all see the quilt behind me. I've had a lot of people ask about that quilt. The pattern is called Silverstone. It is a Robert Kaufman pattern. It is a free pattern. And I think the fabric I use is called Starberry. If I'm not mistaken, that was the Starberry line. I don't recall exactly, but it is I think we used a charm pack. I'm pretty certain it was a charm pack. But it was a very easy sew, and I absolutely love that pattern. That was such an easy sew to make. So we're paying attention right here on these seams where they come together, because some of these are making a V where they come together. So I'm being very careful about my seams. I'm trying to make sure they nest and they're spot on. But we are almost done with these 2 rows. And I know y'all are probably going, why don't you just keep sewing? Because I don't have enough rows trimmed down to do, well, I probably do, but I don't have all of my half square triangles trimmed down to the correct size. So until I have them all, I don't want to go more than the 2 rows. Because they're kind of going by shades of color, and I pulled a few of the half square triangles and trimmed them up to give more than just the all pink. You know, I wanted some greens and blues in there too, so I didn't want it to be all pink. That's why I'm only doing the 2 rows, guys. Like I said, you know, 2026 may be a little lazier year for me. I don't know. I do plan on, I've got all kinds of plans, but you know what? My plans change so fast sometimes. Your head can't even catch up to spin. Okay, friends, so here we go. These are the first 2 rows of the charmed, I'm sure. I'm thinking this is probably going to make a good play quilt for my granddaughter, because it's too small for a lap quilt, anything like that. I've got a lot of threads here, but it'll make a perfect little throw quilt or play quilt for her. My daughter has requested another quilt, so I haven't even got my son his birthday quilt yet, because I asked his wife, I'm like, do you think he would like to get that at Christmas? Do you think that would upset him? Because I'm probably not going to see him for his birthday. And she's like, well, I wouldn't give it to him with Christmas, because he would think that's part of his Christmas, which it's not. They did really well for Christmas. But friends, thank you so much for joining me. I know you're probably only getting a 20-minute little video, but this is all I have today. Y'all just keep tuning in to me. Give me a thumbs up before you roll out. If you have not yet subscribed, please do. Feel free to leave a comment and tell me what you think. I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. Bye, friends.